Check one. We have levels. We have levels. I'm going to turn myself down. Turn myself. I'm bringing myself in 3, 2, 1. Good evening and welcome to the Epic Ice Center here in Fort Collins, Colorado. Tonight, the CSU Rams get ready to take on the DU Pioneers. And last time that CSU was on the ice, they beat Metro State University by a final score of 5-1, getting the Rams their first win of the season. And on the other side, it's DU who's riding a 3-game win streak, all 3 of those games against the University of Wyoming, and looking to continue that hot streak tonight. Riding the hot start of their leading point scorer, that is Nolan Patrick, has 4 goals and 6 assists on the season, and looking to add some more tonight. Good news for the Pioneers. Willem Van Arum back on the ice after missing some action. We saw him play in the first game against the Montana teams, I believe it was the University of Providence, and he went out of the game with an injury. So back on the ice tonight. DU finally back in Colorado. Like I said, 2-game set against the University of Wyoming in Wyoming. And then it was a bye week for CSU. No games last week, but looking to continue off the momentum from the win against Metro State. Getting the start tonight for your Rams, Cross North, number 30, will be in the net for the Rams. Played 2 games so far in this season, having a 1-1 record. On the other end, it will be Jackson Carlitz again for the Pioneers. Played 9 games, has a 6-2-1 record, and looking to continue that hot start for him tonight. The Jackson O'Brien, Nate Solkes, Jared Barton, Zach Carlton, and Luke Hansen for the starting 5 tonight for the Rams. On the other side, I imagine it will be Patrick, Blake Bazin, as well as Henry Seebeck, with Tommy Moen and Chase Thompson on the starting 5. I could be wrong, though. I didn't get the starting lineups for warm-ups, but we will hear the announcement as the Zamboni turns around. For DU, a hot start to the season. Right now, 7-2-1 and in first place in the Big Mountain Hockey Conference. They started off 3-0. They took their first loss in overtime against the the University of Montana Grizzlies, and then back-to-back losses. They were riding a 3-game lose streak, one of those losses coming to CU, and then the other Montana State Bobcats. For CSU, a rough start to the season, started 0-4, losing their first game against DU, and then losing to CU, and then playing some really hard-fought games down against the Colorado School of Mines. The Rams were in both of those games, but unfortunately couldn't skate away with the win. And like I said earlier, came back with a 5-1 win against the struggling Metro State University, a team that the CSU Rams met in the postseason last year, ultimately ended the Rams season. But both teams looking to start the night strong. You're watching CSU Ram Hockey here on Price Productions. Sean Rosenberg on the call. First period, moments away. do be like that sometimes. Yeah. There might be some errors. I did my best. Good evening, everyone. We are here at the Epic Ice Arena tonight. The CSU Rams will get ready to take on the DII Pioneers in their second matchup. Both teams looking to stay in the win column. So tune in tonight. You can find the game on our YouTube channel, Price Productions 970, and we hope you tune in tonight.
University. Number 24, Henry Seebeck. Number 18, Blake Basin. Number 0, Cody Bordar. Number 65, keeper Chang Walker. Number 19, Nolan Patrick. Number 1, Jackson Carlin. And your Colorado State University Rams. Number 19, Nathan Solkes. Number 24, Jared Barton. Number 26, Jackson O'Brien. Number 5, Zach Carlton. Number 18, Luke Hansen. And number 30, Cross North. Please rise and remove your hats for the national anthem.
National anthem aside, first period hockey action underway. And just to go over the starting lineups again for the DU Pioneers, it will be Jackson Carlitz in net. And then number 24, Henry Seebeck, Blake Basin, Cody Bjorndal, your starting forwards. And then on the starting D pair for Coach Hunter Scott, Kiefer Chain Walker and Nolan Patrick. We'll get the starting 5. And again, for the CSU Rams tonight, Cross North wearing the number 30 jersey will get the starting net. And then Jackson O'Brien, Nate Solkes, and Jared Barton will be the 3 out for Doug Sheridan, with Zach Carlton and Luke Hansen on the D line. Both teams coming off wins in their last game. And it was a bye week for the Rams. They did not play last week, but for the Pioneers, took a trip to Wyoming, and that was a very successful trip for the Pioneers, winning both of those games. And the last 3 wins for this Pioneer squad have all come against the Cowboys. Rebounding well, they did the Pioneers against the loss against the CU Buffaloes, and they were able to win the first game at Joy Burns Arena. Looking to do so here again. CSU opened up their season against the Pioneers. They lost that game by a final score of 6-1, and then losing again to CU 8-0 on their next game. And again, as I mentioned in the pregame, losing both games to the Colorado School of Mine, but finally able to get into the win column against Metro State University. Both teams make it to the ice. Blake Basin, the captain for the Pioneers, will go against Jared Barton in the face-off circle. And puck will be dropped. And the game is underway here at Epic Ice Center. We appreciate all of you tuning in early tonight. Sean Rosenberger on the call. A pleasure to bring you this game. CSU controlling early on. And like I said, it was not an upset per se, but for the CSU Rams team, going against the Metro State University team that knocked them out of the postseason. They lost in that game by a final score. I believe it was either 7-1 or 7-2. Correct me if I'm wrong. But CSU going on the road and playing Metro State at the Promenade, beating them 5-1. And that was a big momentum boost and a morale boost for this Rams team. And for the Pioneers on the other side, turnover here, O'Brien trying to get past 2 defense, not able to do so. Barton cross circle was looking for Solkes, not able to get it to him. So DU the other way. That's Blake Basin, the captain, gives it over. Was looking for Bjorndal. North will put this behind his net, and Carlton will trying to collect the loose puck. Forechecking effort there. I believe that is Blake Bays, and keeps it in to Young. Keeps it at the point. And 2-on-1 if they hurry. And a great stick by Jack Gardner to break up that 2-on-1. Out in front, has a man, Hansen shot, and Karlitz makes a save. Good transition play by the Rams early on. Barton had Hansen able to get the cross-ice pass, and Karlitz will cover up in the breadbasket. They're going back before, so big morale boost for this Rams side, beating Metro State. And it wasn't a close game, a 5-goal unanswered for the Rams in that game. Metro State opened up the scoring early in that game, but for then, the Rams all the way out. Sigmund will take a shot, and North will fight this off with the glove. Backhand pass. Intercepted, look out, Pioneers in the zone. On top of the circle, a shot here, and North makes a save behind the net. Rebound out in front, another save by North. It was a turnover there. That was Tyler Vaughn with the pass that was handled in the zone. Wasn't able to get it out, and a turnover down in the circle. North was able to make the save and push behind the net, and out in front was able to cover up. You don't want to get this Pioneer team any free gifts, and the Rams almost did there early on. Team Kane will step in the face-off zone going against, that's Tyler Shawns wearing the number 20 jersey tonight. Face-off controlled by the Pioneer, turnaround shot, Van Arum, and out of play, patted away by North. Van Arum back in the lineup. I'm not sure if he played any of the games in Wyoming. The last game that I called was when they played Wyoming in Joy Burns Arena, and Van Arum wasn't in the team. So neither way, he's on the ice now. He had the overtime winner against the School of Mines to beat the Mines 5-4 in the Pioneers' first game. So good news for the Pioneers to have him back on the ice. Young will swing this over to Gardner. Gardner looking for Van Arum, intercepted momentarily. That's on the stick. Logan Warfield, and Warfield gets stripped of the puck. Young cross ice to Gardner. Up and out. And a man there, and this will be tipped on by Vaughn into the net. Had Shane Sigmund at the blue line. Good stick to get that pass in the wing. For the Pioneers, a hot start to begin the season. They were riding a 3-game win streak into the Rocky Mountain Rumble against the Montana State teams. They are able to beat the University of Providence, but then ultimately fall to the Montana Grizzlies, as this puck gets gloved into the Pioneers bench. They lose that game against the Grizzlies in overtime, and then when they played Montana State, a track meet, was the Bobcats way a much faster team on the ice against the Pioneers. And then the game before Wyoming. And so there's some yelling by both benches. And the stop in the whistle, I'm getting word from my producer that the board was off here at Epic Ice Center, so they have to get that fixed. They do so here, so puck can be dropped again. Face off tied up, swatted in. And it will head off the side of the net. Up and out. White tried to get this out and wasn't able to do so, so back in the CSU Rams zone. At the top of the circle, stripped away momentarily. Marcus, one of the new members of the Rams team this year, hasn't registered a point yet. Looking to get on the score sheet tonight. Turnover out in front. White, a shot here, blocked in and make it back to his stick. There's another shot. Rebound! They score! Just as I mentioned, David Marcus with his first goal of the season. Right on cue. Picks up the rebound, puts it past Karlitz, and the Rams lead by 1. David Marcus didn't get on the score sheet in the first game against the Pioneers, but I noticed the impact that he was making for this Rams side in that game was much closer than what the score suggested. DU would eventually win that game 6-1, but going into the end of the first period, it was a 2-1 game, and then ultimately DU tacked on some goals in the second and third period. But David Marcus, first goal of the season. Turnaround shot here, and Carlitz will make the glove save as O'Brien fell down to the ice while he was taking that shot. So great transition plays for Carlitz, and one of the things that Carlitz has struggled early on in this year was rebounds. And another one makes the first save, but the rebound right out in front of him. And there was 2 Rams players in the vicinity, and Marcus was the one that was able to get it by him. So with just about 4 minutes in the first period, CSU with the first goal of the game. Face off in the DU zone, tied up, collected there, and a little bit too hot to handle for Hansen, so he will have to swap this in, and CSU will have to touch up. Bazin in the corner. Gets this over in the Chainwalker. Chainwalker up and out. Kiefer Chainwalker having a good start to the year. Second in points for defensemen for the Pioneers. Has 4 goals and 2 assists so far, does Kiefer Chainwalker. Had a goal in the game against, the first game against the University of Wyoming. Out in front, look out, a backhand shot, and North makes a save. That was Blake Bazin with a good chance. Rather, excuse me, that is Blake Bazin with the backhand shot, was looking low on the pad. North was able to make the save. Turnover, the Rams collected in, Barton below the circle, out in front, was looking for Carlton, swatted away into the corner. Not out. On this, Hansen will try to keep this in, and Seebeck will send this in the corner. So far, the Rams, winning the puck battles early in this game. Seebeck, cross ice over to Bjorndal. Bjorndal will avoid a check right in front of the Rams bench. Behind it, Vaughn will send this up around. Gardner's waiting for it. Top of the circle, shot here, save, rebound out there. Gets put in the corner. Van Arum tries to get it behind the net. Bjorndal gets it up to Young. Young, cross ice over to Gardner. Gets around one. Gardner splits the D, gets it down to Van Arum. Shot in there, tipped on, and North makes the save. Pioneers had a man out in front. Believe that was Nolan Patrick that was right in front of Cross North. North was able to cover it in the pillows, unable to squeeze it past his 5-hole. So Colston Bazin in for the faceoff, the younger brother of the captain Blake. Trails his brother by 1 point so far in the season. There's word on my producer, I failed to call it. It is a power play going on for the Pioneers. You see on your screen. I can't see the Ram that's in the box. I apologize for missing the call entirely, but 1:40 on the first power play of the night goes to the Pioneers. Patrick onside, takes it below the circle, out in front, shot set over the net, and this will stay in. Clearing attempt, kept in by Chainwalker. Surveys the point. Gets down below the circle, out in front to the point. Patrick takes shot here, rebound into the corner. Bishop will send this all the way up and down 200 feet on the ice. So good opportunity here for the Pioneers to tie this game up. First power play of the night. Intercepted pass there, look out. Going the other way, Wild. Tried to get a cross ice pass there. Had a man, that was Tyler Shawns. Got the puck in his skates. Wasn't able to get a shot out there. Van Arum will collect the loose puck, get this over to Chainwalker. Back to Chainwalker, out in front of the zone, gets stripped of the puck, but he'll collect it in the corner. Bazin, back to Chainwalker. Backhand pass will trickle its way back to Blake. And Kiefer, top of the circle, gets tipped away, and good play there. A whistle here. There's going to be another penalty coming up on the Rams, I believe, and it will be. The penalty box door is opening, and I think this is going to be a hooking on Tyler Sean's. And so with 30 seconds left, it will be a 5-on-3 power play for the Pioneers. Penalty killers for the Rams doing good so far on that 5-on-4, but a big chance early in this game for the Pioneers. Bjorndal slap shot. Gardner makes a save. Rebound up and out, and the Rams are able to collect and send this down ice. Gardner had the slap shot lined up, went off the skate of the Rams defender into the corner. The Rams were able to collect. Only 10 seconds left on the 5-on-3, and this is going to be offsides. Good amount of fans in the attendance tonight. The CSU faithful showed up in numbers, as well as some of the DU faithful as well. The CSU D1 team is playing just next to us in the blue rink. So both teams, both fans traveling well tonight. Gardner gets it across ice, we're looking for Bays and comes to the point. Bjorndal, Seebeck shot here north. It didn't get on. Two Rams crashing to the ice, make that block. That was Carson Petts. That sacrifices the body, and that will do it for the 5-on-3. A minute 16 left on the 5-on-4 power play, but the Rams penalty kill doing what they need to. Gardner onside, 1-on-4, tries to get around. The Rams defender not able to do so. Behind the net, Van Arum forechecking, able to strip the puck. Van Arum, top of the circle, get it up to Gardner. Gardner try to get it back, and look out here, a breakaway. This is Sam Burgess in, a shot here, and a save by Carlitz, able to cover up the post. And a good save, a shorthanded opportunity by the Rams. Could have made it a 2-0 game. Burgess was trying to beat him low, and Carlitz was able to make the pad save. And it was Gardner that gets stripped of the puck right at the blue line, and Burgess was able to collect that puck and streak into the zone. So the Rams that close to taking almost a 2-0 lead early on in this game. Bjorndal will take this behind his net. Just 41 seconds left on the 5-on-4. And a forechecking effort there. That's Nate Solquez putting in a shift here for the Rams. Solquez bumps Bjorndal. And for Doug Sheridan, you just like the fire and the intensity that his team is playing early on. That will kill some more time off this penalty. Just 20 seconds remaining. 3-on-2, onside. Vaughn will put this in the corner. Warfield battling for possession there. Gets it and will send this out, and that will just about do it for the power play for the Pioneers. The penalty kill comes up strong for the Rams. They're able to maintain their 1-goal lead. Patrick, 1-4. And this puck will trickle on to North, and he'll cover up with the glove. I mentioned it before, the first game that these two teams played, the first period was a tightly contested game and entered into the first period of 2-1. Jacob Zier opened up the scoring for the Rams in that game. Ultimately, it was the Pioneers with the effort of the special teams on the power play that put them ahead in that game. But so far, a good first period effort by the Rams put them up 1-0. Burgess has to get on his horse, and Carlitz will cover this up. So an offensive zone faceoff coming up for the Rams. Burgess was trying to get on his horse there, wasn't able to win the foot race. Had a breakaway chance on that power play opportunity, wasn't able to beat Carlitz. Tyler Kunkel in for the faceoff. Pioneers will win this back. Peltier tries to get it out. Carlton pinches it in. Rams keep it in momentarily on the circle. Back to Burgess. And Carlton will keep it in with the state. Backhanded. Four-call pileup and a bunch of sticks reaching out to it. Peltier, as well as Zachary Ben. Burgess loses the puck momentarily. Swat at. And it will finally come free for Chase Thompson. Thompson, cross eyes out in front, and man, there, shot, and I believe that Hansen got a stick on that shot. Out in front, North makes a save behind the net. Pioneers wraparound try. That hit the side of the post. And out into the center ice. Another whistle coming up. And the net came off its mooring. We've seen that a couple of times in the past year, that the nets here on the green rink, of the Epic Ice Center, nets be coming off more and more. So the net's fixed. Face-off coming up in the Rams zone. 10:25 left in the first period. The Rams lead by a score of 1-0. And a good pace so far in this game. Face-off controlled by the Rams. Hansen will push this out. He's looking for two Rams the other way. The Pioneers will send this down. Zarid on the corner. Got their first. Puck will come out into center ice. Hansen losing control of that puck, and the Pioneers will send it down below. North pinches this. Young will try to get around one Rams defender, not able to do so. And some numbers if they hurry. One-on-one the other way. That's Petz. Backhand had Carlton there. I don't think Carlton was ready for the pass. The Rams keep it in a shot here, and Karlitz will make the save. That was a good idea by Carson Petz. Was looking for, had Carlton streaking in the middle of the ice. I don't think Carlton was expecting the placement of the puck to be in that zone. The Rams were able to keep it in and get a shot there. I love what the Rams are doing early on in this game, transition-wise through the neutral zone. Wild will send this over to Petz. Petz will try to get this cross ice. Intercepted in the neutral zone. Bjorndal over to Bazin. Shot here. North makes a save. Rebound. Lays there. Rebound. And it's sent into the corner. Bjorndal thought he had an open net there. Wasn't able to get it on. Bazin collects the D-line. Gets it over to Gardner. Gardner gets around one. Tries to get around another. And North will make the save. And Gardner takes a spill after the whistle. And the Pioneers didn't like that. So multiple players on each team exchanging Snapchat handles. So far, only special teams so far is going to Pioneers, and a 5-on-3 opportunity, and then a 5-on-4 opportunity, and a penalty kill for the Rams doing their job. They will officially go 0-2 in the power play so far. Seebeck will step in for the face-off. Wins it cleanly. Cross ice out in front. Quick shot onto North. Looking for a rebound. The Rams able to push it in the corner. 5-car pileup. Come out to Bazin. Gets around and shot blocked off the skates, and a foot race the other way. Chainwalker backhanded, hit the ref awkwardly, and the Rams will send this up and down the ice. The Rams were offside though, so they need to touch up. Marcus on this puck. Joining him, Denny White. Gets stripped of the puck. Seebeck the other way, and a big collision there. That was Vaughn taking Seebeck down to the ice. White dumps his man off. The Pioneers strikes him in the zone with speed. Vaughn. Chainwalker within the corner. Pushes it there, and another hit. Tyler Vaughn absorbing 2 hits in a row. Bishop loses the puck there, so the Pioneers transition the other way. Patrick onside, quick shot here. North makes the save. Down in the corner. Barton gets this up. Marcus gets stripped of the play. That's Van Arum. Willem shot here and a save with the pad by North. Always dangerous. Willem Van Arum. A turnover there. Another turnover in the neutral zone by the Rams. 7:52 left in the first period. Through the zone. Van Arum gets it over to Kincaid. Stops on the dime. Sent up and around the boards. And Hansen will meet this in the corner. First one to it was a Pioneer. That's Ben. Up and around. It was looking for O'Brien. Will squeak out near the Pioneers bench. O'Brien with the forechecking there in the neutral zone. Van Arum. A long shift for him. He's been out on the ice quite a while. Van Arum looking for the tip, and North will save it with the glove. North having a stellar start to this game. A couple of pad saves and a couple of dandies from the goaltender for the Rams tonight. You see it on your monitor, Pioneers heavily turnaround shot here, and North makes the save, was able to close the pillows. And Pioneers almost doubling the Rams in shots, but the Rams lead in the category that matters the most. Thompson tried to skate this in to the point. Kunkel tipped this into the Ram zone, the Pioneer zone. Both teams trying to navigate through the neutral zone. Off the boards, has a man there, and this will get to Karlitz just before the speedy Tyler Kunkel is able to get to it. Face-off coming up in the Ram zone. Kunkel will take the face-off against Colston Bazin. Kunkel with the deke move off the face-off, turnaround shot here, sent wide of the net. Pinching in, the Rams keeping in the zone on his horse. Kunkel in the corner, 2 Pioneers on him. Another Ram joins the party. They'll come out to the zone and glove down, and look out the other way. Colston, and they're gonna call this offside. That was going in, that was Will Palomino for the Pioneers. I think Colston was a little bit ahead of Palomino entering the zone. Face-off right next to the Rams bench. Shawns wins his back over to Wild. Wild, a good pass in the neutral zone, right on the tape of Shawns. Shawns will back this in into the Pioneer zone. Pets fighting for possession. Young will collect this behind the net. Up and off the boards. And again, some difficulty by Wild trying to keep the puck in. Try to glove it. Just bounce off of him. Saw Reed fighting for possession. Gets it around the corner. Over for Dodery. Takes a hit. Kept in. Slap shot from the point. North makes the save. Rebound in the corner. Cross ice, and he had a man onside. Look out for the Rams. Backhand, and Karlitz makes the save. That was Carson Petz waiting for the stretch pass. The shot from the point here, and a save by Karlitz. The Rams looking to get something going. D to D. Sends it in the corner. And Max Neymar, dead tired. And this will be icing on the Pioneers. A good little offensive pressure for the Rams on that shift. Jackson Karlitz hasn't faced that many shots in the game so far. It seems that the Rams are eager to hop on the rebounds. And that's how the first goal went in. Face-off controlled by the Pioneers. 5 minutes left in the first period. Stretch passes on. Reed will tip this on, and the Pioneers will get the change. Vaughn gets this over. Marcus fanned on the pass, so stays in the Ram zone momentarily. Bishop back to Vaughn. Stayed it the other way. White gets around one. Onside. Denny, a shot from point. Karlitz will make the save and hold on. Another offensive face-off for the Rams, looking to get another goal late in this period. Opened up the scoring 4 minutes in. For Doug Sheridan's squad, he would love to skate into a room against this DU Pioneer team with a 2-goal lead. Bazin gets bumped in the corner, gets it over out in front. Nifty pass there. Caught Seebeck by surprise. Shot tipped on. And North makes the save, pushes it in the corner. Shane Walker will collect this puck in the neutral zone. Over to his D partner, Patrick. Back to Shane Walker. Shane Walker onside, skates it in top of the circle. Takes it behind the net. Surveys, try to get to the point. Slap shot from Patrick and a glove save by North. Makes that one look easy. Saw that one all the way. Shout out to all the Rams faithful showed up in attendance tonight. A good outing. The Rams supporting their team tonight. Both ice rinks, both the D1 and the D2 numbers for the Rams. 3-on-1 the other way. In, onside, has a man out front and a shot. Was looking for the rebound. I like the idea. Carlitz puts it in the corner. I would like to see Sean's try to put it on the tape of the other Rams forward in that. So 3-on-1, no harm, no foul by Carlitz. Able to make the initial save. The Rams trying to get a cycle. Backhand pass blocks. Van Arum the other way, 2-on-2. Onside. Kincaid had to stretch the skate out to make sure it was onside. Van Arum not able to hold on to the pass. Hansen will hit this off the board, take a hit from Van Arum, and up into the corner. This will be a wave off icing, excuse me. So play continues. Ben off the boards, and this will not be icing either. First there was Sigmund, able to get it to Colston. Back to Sigmund, has a man out in front. Palomino is looking to get that going the other way. Burgess. That was Aubrey Primorales that couldn't hold on to the puck there. In the neutral zone, swatted down, around the boards. Palomino, collect this below the circle. Out front, has a man, Peltier shot, and North makes the first save, and he holds on. Cross North. Not letting any rebounds going early in this first period. Excellent start to this game. 2 minutes, 40 seconds left in the first period. Face off. Bazin pushes it into the corner. Newmeyer sends it around. Sends it back to the stick. Backhand pass intercepted. Bazin puts it in the middle of the ice. Palomino with slap shot. That was Ben that sends it over the net. Out in front. Shot sent into the corner. Couple late push from the Pioneers. Behind the net, Bazin. It's intercepted. Newmeyer will push this up. Burgess will try to pinch this off to the top of the circle. And the Rams will push this in the neutral zone. Prime Morales on Ben out in front. Almost stripped that puck away right in front of Carlitz. Good job not to panic by Ben. Burgess not able to collect that pass. Thompson, shot from the point, blockered away by North. Minute 52 left in the first period, cross ice. Rams doing a good job so far in the neutral zone with their stick-to-stick passes. Burgess out in front, gets blocked by the skate to Bazin. In the corner, couple of Rams pinch in. Pioneers will skate out of it. A little bit too far of the reach for Bazin. Burgess will send this behind the net. Shawns with the forechecking effort there. And the pass, and no Pioneer was there. Shawns turns it around behind the net. Thompson will race to this loose buck. Kept in. Forechecking effort by the Rams so far. Kirk Slaw doing a good job of keeping the Pioneers in the zone momentarily. And when they do get it out, not able to travel through the neutral zone so far. So another face-off coming up. A minute left in the first period. Shots are 22-12. Heavily dominated by the Pioneers. But a late offensive push for the Rams. Shawns in the face-off. Take this against Nolan Patrick. Excuse me, that's Bazin. Kept in. They're calling this offsides. I thought he kept him in the blue line. My eyes deceive me. Pioneers up through the neutral zone. Seebeck will tip this on onto the stick. Kunkel off the boards. Waiting for Pets will get on his horse. Try to chase it behind the net. Up to Seebeck. He's looking for Bazin a little bit too far from his reach. And uncharacteristically, the Pioneers just not really connecting on the passes in the neutral zone so far. 10 games played in this season, and one of the strong suits for the Pioneers is their ability to transition through the neutral zone. It just hasn't been able to find the rhythm so far in this game. Pets One man answer through the neutral zone, gets stripped of the puck, and Gardner will skate it in. Up and around. Petzer will collect this in the corner. Seebeck on him, as well as Van Arum. Bjorndal joining that, and that will do it for the first period. A 1-0 lead for the Rams, getting its first of the season. David Marcus puts the Rams with just 4 minutes into the first period. We'll step aside for the first intermission. We'll be back in just moments away.
Why do you have to give me the toughest challenge? Okay, here we go. We're all good. We're all good. Do you want to try and look into this?
I was bringing both sets because I forgot which one it was. Yeah, it was pretty.
Should be able to play the
No, like if I can hear, like, I can kind of hear it. It's just not.
Yeah. This will work. I'm gonna do like a like in-game alert so you know when you do it. Nobody's allergic to me.
Thanks for asking, though. If not, it was something else. This is a lot.
We should invite people on the team. Hold on. Okay.
Welcome back to the Epic Ice Center here in Fort Collins, Colorado. A 1-0 game for the Rams so far. A goal coming from David Marquez, and that is the only goal in the game so far. The only power play has gone to DU. They went 0 for 2. They had 30 seconds of 5-on-3 time, and then 5-on-4 wasn't able to convert. And shout out to the Rams penalty kill doing their job and keeping in 1-0 game. Other games around tonight. Metro State University will be playing Utah State later tonight, and CU currently placing the University of Utah, currently losing 2-4 in that game. And University of Wyoming is playing Weber State tonight, and that will conclude the action. And of course, our game here at Epic Ice Center. A game so far that I feel pretty even. Shots are 22-12 and heavily in favor of the Pioneers, but the Rams with their chances as well and leading the game. Be it 5-on-5 when we come back, no carryover penalties. Just moments away from the second period. We'll bring you back just in a couple minutes.
Thank you for letting me know there's a power play because I totally didn't see that. Really?
I don't know what it was for.
Are they at? Don't they move on in this game? He has 3 homers? Oh, yeah. This game, or the next game. I cannot stand the Dodgers. No. But I respect them as a really good player. Their players are great.
That's what happens when you buy
You like
talent.
baseball at all?
Like, I don't, it's not like I don't like it, I just don't watch it. I can't say I hate it. It's one I work all the time.
Gotta see what the Mariners are doing. I want
Where is
them-
that game tied up? Or is it who leads?
I think it's. Oh my God, they won! Okay, so the Mariners are winning 3-2 on the series.
Ooh.
They're good.
Well, don't joke when they say that. His behavior right now. Alright. It's horrendous. Anytime a kid says, "You're only here for the money," like, I don't get paid shit. You just care about you.
You want to see my picture every month?
So yeah, I'm still doing that. And like I said, I'm working to try
Welcome back to the Epic Ice Center here. Second period almost underway. Both teams make their way to center ice. It's a 1-0 game. As far as matchup, a very evenly contested game. So far in the first period, we've seen a couple of down-low chances for the Pioneers, but also some uncharacteristic turnovers in the neutral zone that have led to some Rams chances. Well, the Pioneers down a 1-goal deficit. Solquez and on the zone. We'll take it behind the net. Nate waiting for reinforcement. Sent this puck out in front. We're looking for O'Brien. Gets intercepted. Look out, Cookout. Bjorndal on his horses, beats the icing. Bjorndal in the corner. Gets it up to Patrick. Shot here, didn't make it on net. That was a great play by Hansen to block that puck. Jane Walker now will collect this in the defensive zone, off the boards, onto the stick of Hansen, kicks it over and intercepted the other way. Seebeck with numbers, gets it to Bjorndal with space, has a man, cross eyes a shot, and oh, he just sent it wide. Blake Bazin had a couple of feet of the net wide open, and he wasn't able to put it on. Good looking chance for the Pioneers. Still looking, out in front, Bazin not able to shoot. Back to Seebeck, turns around, sends it behind the net. And early pressure from the Pioneers. Gardner takes a tumble, and the puck will come out of the zone. So 2 minutes in, and the Pioneers looking to answer. Van Arum offsides. Or is this going to be? Nope, it was just that. It's going to be an offside call. So face-off coming into the the Pioneer zone. Burgess wins the face-off, took a tumble here, shot on, Karlitz makes a save, rebound. There were 2 Rams down below. Gardner gets his up and out. The other way, Van Arum, 3-on-2 for the Pioneers if they hurry. Cross ice blocked there. Good stick by Tyler Vaughn, kept in by the Pioneers. Gardner backhands this towards the net. Kept in, the Pioneers. Shot blocked off. And that was Prime Morales that's able to clear this up and into the zone. Young will get this to Gardner. To the point to Sigmund. Backhanded to Van Arum. And 3 Rams met him there and intercepted the puck. Vaughn gets his up and out, waiting for it. Gardner at the red line. Cross ice for Young, and he'll tip this on Sigmund. Here's Jace and the Rams. Cross ice, and both teams looking to get something set up, but icing on the Rams. So face off again, and first 3 minutes, and the Pioneers doing a good job of getting some early chances and looking to get back into this game. Only down a goal so far. Bazin will come out to take the face-off against Shawns. Wins it back, collected there by Peltier, and a shot on again. And the Rams are doing an excellent job of getting in the shooting lanes of the Pioneers. Shot on, North will cover up and hold this from the shot from the neutral zone. So another face-off in the Rams zone. CSU getting a line change now on the ice. You'll have your top line out. Tyler Shawns in the face-off. It's Will Palomino wearing the 22 sweater tonight. Wins it back. Shot on. Tip there. 2 Pioneers swat at it. Wasn't able to get enough on it. Cross. North makes the save. In the corner. Wild. Battling for possession. Palomino there too. Shawns. 4-call pile up in the corner. Puck will eventually come out. Out in front, a tough angle shot blocked, didn't make it on net. Swatted in the corner. Ben loses this, and the Rams trying to get out of their zone. Newmayer gets it up to Shawns. Cross ice. Slaw onside will backhand this, and Karlitz will play with the stick behind the net. Over to Petz. Back into the point with some space. Shot on, and Karlitz may have got a piece of it. Kept in by the Rams, momentarily pushed out. And Betts will just put this on net. A shot is a shot no matter where it comes on from. Stretch pass, Bazin gets a Tim on it, so it negates the icing. The Rams will look to transition the other way. Up and out of the zone, with speed, with numbers. Look out in front, a shot here, and White not able to get it past Karlitz. Denny White was waiting for that pass at the blue line, and with a burst of speed, a good chance from the Rams. Karlitz makes the saves with the pads. Backhanded into the zone. 9, and cross. North will hop on this puck, but a good chance from Dennis White. Showing a burst of speed, was able to get him out in front of the defense, get him squared with Karlitz, was looking to go low. Face off in the Ram zone. 2-on-1 the other way. Numbers for the Rams if they hurry. Marcus, cross eyes there. Shot in the set wide of the net. Oh boy, Nate Bishop is able to receive that saucer. Have the shot. Carlitz down low. Sends it wide of the net. Oh boy, a couple of good Rams chances early on in this period. About 5 minutes in the second period. Pioneers came out with a burst of speed, and so far the Rams getting back on their game. Intercepted pass. Kincaid, that's Zarid. We'll dump this on as some fresh skaters out for the Pioneers. Hansen. Cross ice intercepted. Look out, Bjorndal has a man out front. And the rebound gets pushed into the corner. Trying to keep it in, and Shane Walker is a little bit off of the blue line, so this will go all the way down in the Pioneer zone. Forechecking there, good effort. That's Jared Barton with the forechecking effort. Keep it in momentarily. Rams forechecking now. Try to keep it in the zone. O'Brien gets it over the Soquez, and that puck just skips away from him. The Rams keep the zone. Carlton from the point, and that puck made his way to the net. Carlitz was able to get the blocker on it. O'Brien swings around. Soquez tried to play this, swatted back. Carlton keeps it in. Soquez in the corner, gets bumped off by Patrick. And Patrick will win the possession of that puck. Pioneers can clear the zone momentarily. Back to Carlton. And he will just dump this to the skates, and Pioneers, corny Bjorndal at the top of the circle, spin moves, wait for reinforcements, and the backhand pass fans on, but it maintained possession of it. The Pioneers looking to get set up in the zone, top line out for Hunter Scott. Shot from the point, North makes the save. Another shot here, and that was tipped on, sent up and above the net, Rams kick it out into the neutral zone. Vaughn will swing this around onto the skates. Patrick onside. Takes it in the corner. Patrick, backhanded pass intercepted by Carlton. Took a funky bounce right in front of the net. And on his horses, Prime Morales had the step, but the puck with a funky bounce in the neutral zone. And Prime Morales is going to win this foot brace behind the net. Out front! And a shot. That good looking chance there for Kunkel. I think Carlitz got it with his shoulder. The other way, Sigmund with speed in the corner. Gets around Neymar. And a collision here, and it's going to be another power play coming up for the Pioneers as Sigmund gets tripped down. And another Pioneer falls to the ice. So another power play coming up for the Pioneers. Sigmund again, we saw it in the first game against Wyoming. Sigmund was a part of 2 plays that gave them power plays. So Sigmund again with the speed causes Max Neumar to get the penalty. And so another power play coming up for the Pioneers. They weren't able to convert on their first chance in the first period. Had a 5-on-3. They weren't able to score. Penalty kill came up big for the Rams, and looking to do so again. It's going to be a tripping minor. 2 minutes up on the board. Van Arum in the faceoff, tied up in the corner. Not out. Chain Walker to the zone. Cycling now, back to Chain Walker from the point, playing pitch and catch. Cross ice, Bazin. To his brother, Blake. Blake takes a hit up and around, and this will come out as far as the blue line. So good start to the penalty kill for the Rams. Pioneers the other way. Colston onside, takes it below the net. Gets bumped off. And Shawns will try to collect the loose puck. Bazin again. Turns it around, gets it behind the net in the corner. And a good defensive stick there. Warfield denying the out in front pass. The Rams doing a good job keeping the Pioneers on the perimeter. Cross ice here, turnaround shot, and sent wide of the net. That was Blake Bazin with the shot there. Wasn't able to get it on. A minute left in this power play opportunity. Chain Walker cross ice for Van Arum, tips it over to Sigmund. Up and around the boards. Wild will swing this 200 feet down. So again, a good penalty kill for the Rams. Not letting the Pioneers set up. Intercepted on front. That was Kirk's Law with the forechecking after there. Kill some more time. 3-on-3 the other way. Seebeck will stop at the top of the circle. Gives this up to Van Arum. Surveying the point. Cross eyes below the circle. Another cross eye. Seebeck had a chance to shoot it. Wasn't able to control the puck. Top of the circle. And again, the Pioneer players having a difficult time with the tape-to-tape passes. Van Arum, top of the circle, waits, shoots, and North makes the save. Does not give up the rebound. And Cross North doing a good job in this game with making sure the first save stays with him and not giving up really any rebounds for these Pioneer forwards. So second power play unit on for the Pioneers. Gardner has Young out there with Bjorndal, Seebeck. Blake Bazin will step in for the faceoff. Just 9 seconds left on the power play. Faceoff.